So, welcome, my incubus and succubi, to Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. So, I will have to stop for a few moments to explain what exactly I'm going to do. Since this is going to be the official first episode of the whole show and yada yada yada, I need to explain something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a complete let's play of this game from the beginning to end, and I'm going to criticize along the way. And after I am done with the let's play, I'm going to make a review video on the game with god damn it, footage. Thank you, footage I use for the let's play itself. So this is how the show is going to work. So I just want to explain it first, since it's going to be the official first episode of this channel. Yada yada yada. No, I know. Let's play of the Castlevania. It's gonna happen again. Don't worry about it. But I need to get this one out first. Since I'm recording it the day of my birthday, this is kind of a, how can you say it, a present to myself, because I really love the Legacy of Kain series. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to Blood Omen 2, Soul Reaver 2 until I reach Defiance. My PC can run all games, so I wanted to get this marathon done, and this marathon is a present to me. This game is gonna be kinda sorta a blindish one, just for the matter of fact I played this game once and a half, and the other half is to see if I can record this shit in the first place. So, when everything comes to shove, I'm not gonna do 100% of this game, and I'm gonna explain it along the way. So, without further ado, let's begin the tale of Kain. And it's crazy.
There is a magical operation of maximum importance. The initiation of a new aeon. When it becomes necessary to utter a word, the whole planet must be bathed in blood.
It's amazing. Oh yeah, old school CGI. Hold your horses. Of course. Ooh boy. Vordor Wrecking House. I should shut up, actually.
Call your dogs! They can feast on your corpses!
Fulfilling the circle of mallet of the Sarafan, you are hereby damned. The pleasures of the flesh are no longer yours. You have but one purpose, damned warrior. You will serve us for eternity.
Oh shit.
The tavern's closing. Best be on your way, stranger. What?
No mug of ale for a weary traveller from distant Corhagen? I can reward you well, for I am of noble blood. I stay open for no man in these dark times. Things come with the night that no sane man would welcome. And so I left, cold of heart and soul, forced to the road and the long, bitter night.
Okay, thank you. So, about the intro, what can I say? Early CGI, it looks delicious. Sorry about the commentary when Vordo was wrecking house, but just the fact that later in the game, we're gonna have the same fucking intro played again. So I just shut up in the section where Ariel dies, where the blonde chick's named Ariel. She dies, because I think in the Pillars of Corrupt, I think that's the only section it doesn't repeat. So, welcome to Blood Omen. It's a top-down, I was going to say RPG, but this is pretty much more like a Metroidvania top-down instead of an RPG, since it doesn't have like skill points and experience, nothing like that. It's a top-down hack and slash. I'm going to go in more depth about the combat and everything later, because since Kain now is still human, he sucks ass. He can only do one swing. So let's continue with the narrative. And I have to say, this game is gonna have a lot of fucking story, so I'm probably going to be from time to time be interrupted by the story, so you can actually listen, because it's a really good story. It's well written. It was inspired by the Michael Moorcock, Eric of Melanie Monet. For fuck's sake, even when Kain becomes a vampire, he looks like Eric. Besides a bunch of other aspects of the story that I'm going to point out along the way. But this is a really great series about story. This game has a really good story. So let's continue, and I will criticize along the way.
That's him!
And oh boy.
End it!
Wow. That was fast. Okay. This is a story, Vince. Shutting out mode activated.
Fey victors, suffering to the conquered. Ironic that now I was the one suffering. Not anything as pedestrian as physical pain, rather the cruel jab of impotent anger. The hunger for revenge. I didn't care if I was in heaven or hell. All I wanted was to kill my assassins. Sometimes you get what you wish for. The necromancer Mortanius offered me a chance for vengeance, and like a fool, I jumped at his offer without considering the cost. Nothing is free, not even revenge.
You will have the blood you hunger for.
I awoke to the pain of a new existence, in a dank womb of darkness and decay.
Okay. So, you're probably gonna recognize a lot of voice actors in this game, because a talented people actually work on this, and you're probably gonna hear them in repeat, because since the budget in this game was pretty much like what bison dollar in the bag of cheeseburgers, I suppose. But this is one of the examples of early PC/PS1 games that have really good voice acting. I know a lot of people like to point out that the only good voice acting in PS1 were like Metal Gear Solid, and this is the game that I actually point out and say bullshit much. What we are playing here is the PS1 version in the emulator. Now, just hang on. The matter of fact that I actually tried my best to find a copy of Legacy of Kain for PC. I didn't find a physical one, but actually find the digital version on myabandonware.com. I actually managed to get it working on my PC, but the problem is I couldn't record it with Action. This is the software that I actually use. So I decided to just say, fuck it, let's download the ISO and the emulator and just play it like that. The other games, Soul Reaver onwards, I have on PC is the digital version from GOG, which I recommend. Actually go to the site, is amazing. And well, focus on the game. So now we're finally on the vampire side, and you actually will come to realize the sun clock on the bottom right. This game actually has a day to night system, and it actually uses not only as a visual effect but as a mechanic as well. I will go more in depth as we go along. So first, since we just resurrected from Kain's script, first spell.
The sanctuary spell enables me to travel to my crypt, where the soil of my grave provides me respite. I often resort to this when I am weak and need nourishment.
I actually got a lot of Kain's little description in every item. First item he gets. It's amazing. Okay, kill the first dude. And we get this. This is gonna be something. This is the Heart of Darkness. Before Kain takes up and explains what the fuck it actually is, I wanted to actually remember the description of this thing and remember how mechanically it works on this game. Okay? So let's go.
Reputed to have been ripped from the chest of the greatest vampire to have ever existed, Janos Audron, the Heart of Darkness restores vampiric unlife. Life is precious, Janos discovered, as it was torn, throbbing and bleeding from his own body. This ancient vial bears with it a dark gift indeed, for with it my life force is increased. These ancient symbols of power contain raw magical energy that increases my own capacity to summon energy for the spawning of spells.
So, first thing I have to explain. Every time you find humans strapped to the wall, this is pretty much free blood, free health. Just stay as close as possible. Press the drink button. And there you go. One of the things I actually love about the ethos and actually mechanics of Legacy of Kain games is that Kain can drink blood from really far, as you can see. I don't know how exactly it works. I don't know if there's actually blood magic or telekinesis, but it's just a really interesting, creative way to get away from the usual grab the fucker and drain him dry. So, the symbol on the ground, the little pyramid on the ground, this indicates description / monologue that Kain's going to make. Then this thing is a save point.
Within the walls of these chambers I could find respite. And if I so chose, resume my journey when my weariness abated.
Delicious. So, now a lot of people are going to ask in the comment section, by a lot of people, only few, because I'm probably only, 5 fuckwits gonna watch this thing. So, will I use the emulator autosave feature? As little as I can, I suppose. I don't like, even when I use emulators, I don't like cheating as much as if I can avoid it. If I have to stop a video because I have something important to do, probably going to use the autosave because the only way to save in this game is to find one of these monoliths. Let's call it like that. And they're really spread throughout the world. It's an old game, for fuck's sake. Is as spread, or even more so than a Resident Evil typewriter, I suppose. It's probably raining outside. And I think Kain will comment about it. Yeah.
When rainfall comes, vampires are wise to find shelter from its acidic touch.
And yeah, rain and any kind of water will do you damage.
Save Victor!
So, yeah, this game actually has weather effects and everything like that. This game is actually kind of complex when it comes to immersion and world building, even though we have a gigantic picture of Kain in the right side of the screen. I'll be saving as often as I can, because, well, I don't know, gotta save, gotta save. And yeah, I will not rotate as much, because I never had that much of a problem with, like, oh no, you have to kind of rotate saves, because what if it gets corrupted? What if it get corrupted and everything? Since I'm using an emulator, it's kind of probably not even going to fucking happen. And yeah, the game kind of gets tight, like days and hours. It's probably minutes and seconds, I suppose. So, let's talk about the game combat, which is it's Achilles heel. This is the thing that I kind of is the thing that I always think about when I am prone to recommend or not recommend this game. Because since the combat is such an integral part of the game, it's something you're going to do pretty much every single fucking time. The combat is clunky. It works, it does, but it solely rely on positioning your character against the enemy. For example, as if you can get the position just right, like this, you can see that the AI will attack empty space. This is the essential trick about the combat in this game. When you have multiple enemies, this doesn't work as well as it should. But this is how you make combat with future enemies a bit more tough and everything else. Way more fucking easy. It's all about position. Because this
Save Victor!
is the extent of your combo. Is 4 slashes and that's it. There's nothing more, nothing less. This is why they decided to, whenever the boss fight happens, it's way more about positioning the enemies. Like the boss is not relying on pure physical combat. The bosses are pretty much prone to either run or have some gimmick to them. But if I go wrong. But the combat is fairly simple. It works, but I don't know. I'm one of those guys that are really a combat aficionado. I like my games to have, my action games mostly have really good combat. And if the game doesn't have combat, I tend to either never play it again or try to kind of bear with it if the story is really good.
These curious devices hurl bolts of whirling energy and eviscerate my human enemies by stripping ragged flesh from blood-stained bone.
The descriptions on these things, they're just beautiful. The items, there we go. We have the Outer Darkness and we have the discs. Now, these discs most secondary shit. I'm really bad at speaking today, Jesus fucking Christ. Secondary. God damn it, you know what? Second items. They are projectile based. This is a kind of a compromise they decided to do, at least I think as such, to make the combat a little bit more better, because you're gonna have a lot of more projectile enemies mixed with melee ones. So you have, I think, 5 projectiles in equation. That's counting spells and everything else. But what I love about these secondary items is that each one of them, to brass tacks, actually kind of doesn't do the same thing. They act differently in terms of lore and everything else. Like the disc's description. They said that strip flesh from bones, so then you stop to think about it, how that would work, and it's really vicious. Everything in this game is dark, it's brutal, is, well, it's my kind of thing. I'm not a dark, brooding jackass you mostly see. But if you know Michael Moorcock's work of the Eternal Champion, this thing takes a lot of inspiration from that. A lot. Even the gore, the violence from Eric and Oron. And even if I believe like Hawkmoon and Erakose also have a high level of violence, which this game actually is happy to...
The world had changed to my eyes. I had not expected such cruelty from the light. For in the embrace of the sun I could find no comfort, only malice. This would change in time for the worse, along with other things.
Oh, my... That continue my original. And this game embraces its violence and actually makes sense within the lore and the
Hunger
style.
and weakness are no bar to vengeance's call. I would find my slayers and send them back whence I came.
Yeah, was I? Thank you, Kain, for interrupting me so suddenly. But it's kinda, yeah, enthusiastic about his vengeance. So, as we move along, I'll explain more about the inspiration of the Eric that works on this game. So, in sunlight, Kain takes double the damage.
Trickery is this?
Yeah, mind? Thank you. So Kain would take double the damage. And if I believe that his damage actually gets lower too, not as double, but I think as...
Kill you, bastard!
If we put you down once, we could do it again.
inconsiderably amount as she increases. I think that's a debuff, I suppose.
Their sneering faces were forever etched upon my memory. I had crossed death for this moment. My mind was empty save for one thought. I would kill.
They
And yeah, I have to say, Legacy of Kain is actually one of the first games.
There is no greater release than that from vengeance sated. With my assassins dead, my quest was over.
I'm waiting for more changes. Because I know he chimes in. Whoops.
Bay Victus!
Mauritanians. Okay. Where was I? God damn it, I completely forgot what the fuck was this. Shit, I completely forgot what the fuck was I saying. Oh no. Okay. Last I got to the.
Tis not over, Kain.
There we go.
These fools were merely the instruments of your murder, not the cause. Look to their masters. Look to the pillars. And gain way to the fortress of the mind.
Remember what the fuck I was talking about. This is one of the first games to actually play as a bad guy. Kain is not a hero. Fuck, he's not even an anti-hero. He's 100% a villain. I'll just be sure how the disc works. Beautiful.
This was where the bloody deed of my murder took place.
Really? That's it? Huh. I don't know, Kain used to, be a little bit more elaborate. Whatever the fuck you say. And some cities you can visit, actually, if you are in your vampire form, like I am right now. The guards will attack you on sight. They just don't give a shit. They will attack you on sight. Some discs. Some establishments actually, the people that work there will also attack you. There's a spell you get later on. Actually, there we go. See? Yeah, you could kill him. Seriously, just don't give a shit. Okay, you're a vampire. You should not give a shit about what you do. You can slaughter every fucking city in this game. Make it completely deserted. Fuck it. You can do it. And no, I don't believe the NPCs never spawn. At least inside the buildings they never do. Which is impressive, because impressive more in the because I never seen a game, at least on the same year this one came out, that did the same thing. This game also, I believe, it also take cues from Ultima 7. I think it's one of the Ultima games, I believe, where this perspective right here is more akin to. I was actually really thinking of recording this. I was thinking about comparing it to Diablo, but this is really more different than Diablo than I initially thought. And then I remember watching way back Spoonie's retrospective on the Ultima series, and this is more inspired, at least gameplay-wise, to Ultima than Diablo.
The necromancer had offered me no warning as to what my resurrection would entail, and yet I must confess in my haste I had not sought one. Was his gift a curse? I would seek the pillars for an answer.
Like, for example, I believe it was 7. I believe it was Ultima 7, where they also have a day-to-night system. Oh yeah, you won't make it comment twice on the same thing. So what we are doing now is making a way to the Pillars of Nosgoth, which is a centerpiece of the whole mythos and the story of the legacy of Kain. They have way more impact in this game and in Soul Reaver onwards. In Blood Omen 2, though, first projectile. As you can see, this static is the best thing. Primarily against these celebrations. So, I would say, Blood Omen 2 kinda just reference the pillars. You don't see them, you're not even in the same place as them, you are in the far-ass corners of Nosgoth, in fact. Blood Omen 2.
Save Victus! Save Victus!
Like I said, combat is all about position.
Save Victus!
That position well, unless you're fucked. Getting banged up the ass.
Save Victus!
So, what else I can talk about the game? Because I need to keep the commentary on the game. Jeez, 31 minutes. And I'm not even...
As daylight chases darkness, the vampire's power wanes.
Thank you. Not even... Shit. Not even the first
Save
quest.
Victus!
Yeah, no, take away from the first quest.
The Pillars of Nosgoth. Even in life, few sights have moved me such as this. I marvel that such beauty should grace our dying world.
Yes, the pillars. Oh yeah, we cannot make our way to the pillars of the foot. After the teleport. Which, in future games, where... Sorry, but 2 of them, where actually go to the pillars as well. You don't use this. The geography of Nosgoth changes throughout the series. I don't know what to call it, constant or I don't know. I know some fans like myself actually tends to believe that is the geographic change of some of the areas on Nosgoth on future games is due to the corruption that Kain does, the corruption that actually occurs at the ending of this game. And finally we meet Ariel.
Nopraptor, your madness has shattered our dreams and blinded you.
Keep your distance, or I'll send you back to hell, spirit!
There is nothing left of me to fear, vampire. I'm only a shadow of my former self, Ariel, the balance of the Circle of Nine. Even so, I can provide the answers you seek.
I seek only a cure.
There is no cure for death, only release. You must destroy the sorcery that is now poisoning Nosgoth. Only then will you realize peace. The 9 of the Protectors of Hope were sworn to use their powers to preserve our world. Now these pillars have been corrupted by a traitor. My murder at the hands of this beast drove my love Nopraptor mad. Now he spreads misery and pain among the Circle, crumbling the very foundation of Nosgoth. You must restore balance. You must right the pillars of Nosgoth.
I care not for the fate of this world.
Then for yourself, Kain. Beware the unspoken.
Okay, you selfish prick. I love you.
Nopraptor, with his blind act of vengeance, threatened to destroy all of Nosgoth. Each circle member was bonded to the pillar he served. The pillars reflected the mental state of their servants, and as the minds of the circle degenerated and descended farther into dementia, the pillars crumbled. To restore them, each member of the circle had to die, and the artifact that served as their link to the pillar had to be returned. Only when all the pillars were restored did Ariel claim my curse would end. And so, my hunt for Nupraptor began. The Pillar of Balance.
So, as you can see, the game actually freezes and waits until the monologue is done. They really want you to pay attention to the story, and you should. It's a really, really, really good story. So, the Pillars of Nosgoth. The whole game, up until the end, the whole game is centered around the Guardians of the Pillars of Nosgoth. Ariel right here, she is the Guardian of the Pillar of Balance. This one in the middle. As you saw in the intro, the corruption of the pillars is due actually happens after Ariel is murdered, and it has, like Kain explained, it has to do with the mental state of every single guardian of each pillar. So what each pillar represents: balance,
The Pillar of the Mind.
the pillar of the mind,
The Pillar of Dimension. The Pillar of Conflict.
there we go,
The Pillar of Nature. The Pillar of Energy. The Pillar of Time. The Pillar of States. The Pillar of Death.
keep in mind, so each major character is bound to these, and the pillars will have they explain their purpose in later games. Don't worry. Actually, the way the commentary is going, I have to actually stop most of the time to actually try to explain what the fuck is going on. Oh, what was I? Finish your thoughts on it. The mechanic of the Unite actually will help me a lot.
In bat form, I can travel great distances with ease. From my vantage in the heavens, no region of Nosgoth is forbidden to me.
So these are monoliths. There's another kind of monoliths.
Night dawns, and with it, the vampire grows stronger.
Yes, Kain, yes. These monoliths will be your ways of transportation. They work as the teleport zone, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, pretty much. But
These beacons serve as landmarks during my flights in bat form.
whoops.
Once I have committed their locations to memory, I can always return.
Yes, Kain says. When you activate it, like I just did, anytime from anywhere, except inside buildings, I believe. Or you even get inside buildings. I don't know, we'll test later. You can return this, which is a really good shortcut to the pillars, because we would need to go back to the pillars a lot. Each time we go back. Let me comment on the music. The music in this game is great. It's really, really good. It's well composed. The melodies are dark. It fits the theme and nature of the game. This is our first dungeon, I believe. That's how it's supposed to be called, this thing. So in every dungeon, you will see, just like here, a mirror that depicts what will you gain when you complete this particular dungeon. In this one, since it's dark as shit, we'll gain the light spell. In every dungeon, there is a safe monolith. Thank fucking God for that. And I believe this should be the end of chapter 1 of our Tale on Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen. Well, now it's safe, 6 days, 0 hours. I will see you guys on chapter 2. Take care, my creatures of the night.